Before we begin, I want to take a sec to thank everyone for the incredible support so far. I was over the moon when my first video reached over 100 views, so seeing the Tommy's Matchbook video at almost 5,000 and our sub count at 130 is truly mind-blowing. All of this is completely new to me, so the quality of my videos is only going to go up as I continue to learn editing and recording tricks. I'll shut up now, enjoy my dog, and enjoy the video. Today is a sad day. I had been munching on crayons on the Titan subclass ever since the launch of D2, and believe it or not, my other two characters did not even exist until the start of Witch Queen. After crafting the Tommy's Matchbook and Lurley Splendor Helm build, I thought I would continue to be set in my ways. This might all be changing, however, as a clanmate and I discovered a build that might finally turn me to the dark side, fully embracing previously unheard of power on Hunter Void 3.0. These intro clips, as well as much of the gameplay seen throughout the video, were captured live at twitch.tv/PixarDonks. Come stop by to see how I create these videos live. What's up guys, my name is PixarDonks and welcome to the channel. I play Destiny 2 on Xbox, and my goal with this channel is to provide you guys with creative builds, tips specific to my fellow console gamers, as well as cover niche topics I haven't seen anyone else cover. I hope to provide a unique take on Destiny 2 from the point of view of a console player, as I feel as though most content creators within the community are currently located on PC. I play quite a bit of Destiny and follow the game closely, so I will try my best to make sure any content here will be on topics I have yet to be seen covered elsewhere. That's it for the intro. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop into the video. I have been trying to branch out from strictly build videos, and yesterday I announced my first ever Destiny 2 challenge, in which my kindergarten parents will compete in a 3-round matchup. Make sure to check out that video, as well as stay tuned when the first round begins later this week, as it is sure to be hilarious. The topic for today is a triple grenade launcher Void 3.0 Hunter utility build that is not only extremely unique and fun to play, but also surprisingly effective. In today's video, I will begin by covering the weapons used in this build, as well as the destination or activity each can be earned through upon completion. Moving on, I will cover the subclass options, stat distribution, and armor mods you should be on the lookout for when crafting this build for yourself. Finally, I will let some background gameplay of myself using this build play out, as I discuss any synergies and tips you should be on the lookout for. Let's hop into the build. Let's take a look at our Void 3.0 Hunter build. This build will revolve around the exotic primary grenade launcher, the Fighting Lion, the exotic legs, the Gemini jesters, as well as the ability to blind or disorient enemies. Starting with our kinetic weapon of choice, the Pardon Our Dust, this legendary grenade launcher can roll both blinding grenades and auto-loading holster, one of the most powerful combinations of perks in the entire game. This allows us a layer of safety as we fire a shot, blind any enemies, and then switch to another weapon to clean up the kills. As you will see next, it synergizes extremely well with our exotic of choice, as any enemy blinded by this weapon counts as being affected by a grenade. This weapon was added in the 30th anniversary pack and can be earned through Xur's treasure hoard on Eternity. Our Void energy weapon and exotic of choice, the Fighting Lion, is an extremely unique weapon in that it is the only primary ammo grenade launcher in the entire game. Its exotic perk that makes the entire weapon is called Thin the Herd and causes a variety of effects, including extra damage on direct hits to enemy shields, extra reload speed on causing damage, as well as a refill of the magazine on rapid grenade damage combatant kills. I completely forgot about this weapon for many years, but with the addition of Void 3.0 as well as the exotic primary buff, this weapon has transformed itself into an absolute ad clear monster. The Fighting Lion can be obtained as a random world drop or can be purchased from Xur on the weekend. Moving on to our power weapon of choice, and easily the most customizable option within this build, I chose to go with the legendary stasis grenade launcher, the Typhon GL5. Not only is this a new weapon, but I also had a pretty decent roll of Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie, and it is also able to proc the Thin the Herd perk if an enemy somehow survives a shot and is cleaned up by the Fighting Lion. However, heavy GLs are not exactly a meta pick at the moment, so this can easily be swapped out for a rocket or linear in harder content. This weapon can be obtained as a random world drop or can be sold by Banshee. Finally, our exotic boots of choice, the Gemini Jesters, come with the exotic perk Misdirection, where dodging disorients nearby enemies and removes their radar. I am obviously not a hunter main, but I only ever previously saw these used in PvP. However, they also work surprisingly well in PvE. Not only do they supplement the blinding from our Pardon Our Dust, but when combined with our subclass and mods, they end up synergizing extremely well within the utility aspect of this build. The Gemini Jesters can be obtained as a random world drop or can be purchased from Xur on the weekend. Our subclass of choice will be Void 3.0 Hunter, running both the Vanishing Step as well as stylish Executioner aspects. Vanishing Step combines extremely well with the Gemini Jester's dodge, disorienting enemies and making you invisible, while after proccing volatile rounds on the Fighting Lion, Stylish Executioner will turn us invisible on every kill. The fragments I chose are mostly personal preference, however, I would recommend both Echo of Undermining to be able to proc Stylish Executioner using your grenade, as well as Echo of Starvation, since Devour is broken. Before covering armor mods, there are a few things to note about the stat distribution you should be targeting when running this build. As always, try and have at least 80 recovery, and then spend the rest of your points on mobility. Our dodge is what starts one of the common gameplay loops you will see when running this build, and it is important to have it up as much as possible. Taking a look at our helmet, I've set it to the Void energy type in order to slot Reaping Wellmaker and Dynamo. Reaping Wellmaker will be our only source of elemental wells, but the low class ability cooldown on Hunter makes this more than sufficient. Harmonic Siphon will allow Fighting Lion to create orbs on multi-kills, allowing us to proc Devour. Moving on to our gauntlets, I have set them to the Void energy type, as once I get the catalyst for the Fighting Lion, I will be replacing Grenade Launcher Dexterity with Focusing Strike in order to further reduce the dodge cooldown. GL Reloader gets great value as it affects all three of our weapons, while Font of Might comprises 1/2 of the damage mod combo. Our chest has been set to the Void energy type in order to slot the mod Well of Tenacity and Harder content, or Well of Utility otherwise. These mods supplement the class nicely, adding either extra survivability or cooldown reduction on our dodge. Sliding down to our legs, an exotic of choice, these have been set to the Void energy type in order to slot Insulation, lowering our dodge cooldown with every orb of power. Volatile Flow makes up the second half of the damage mod combo, and when combined with Font of Might, makes the Fighting Lion as good as most special weapons in the game. Finally, our cloak has been set to Arc in order to slot Powerful Friends, which will give us a secondary effect of plus 20 mobility, further reducing our dodge cooldown. I am fairly new to Hunter, so if anyone knows which is better for this purpose, Utility Kickstart or Powerful Friends, I am all ears. Outreach is simply here to proc the secondary effect of Powerful Friends, and is not really necessary if you have another Arc or Charged with Light mod slotted. That is all the information you need to set up this build. I will now let some background footage from the Grasp of Avarice dungeon play out as I note some of the key points to notice when trying this build for yourself. My first tip is to practice. This build is not exactly the easiest to use, and you almost certainly have to practice all of the combinations this setup allows for in order to maximize its potential. However, the way this build is set up synergizes so well that even half of a combo can provide devastating effects, and it is up to you to take it to the next level. A common gameplay loop to watch out for begins when you dodge, temporarily disorienting enemies thanks to Gemini Jesters, turning yourself invisible thanks to Vanishing Step, and causing your next weapon final blow to drop a Void Well thanks to Reaping Wellmaker. Defeating a target with your Blinding GL then drops that well, giving your Fighting Lion both Volatile Flow as well as Font of Might, and blinding any other enemies caught within the blast. These enemies are now sitting ducks for your supercharged Fighting Lion, and defeating them rapidly will reload its magazine, as well as drop an Orb of Power, which can be used to proc Devour. You are now ready for 8 to 10 seconds of an all-out massacre, as each enemy defeated will reproc Devour, turn you invisible thanks to volatile rounds and Stylish Executioner, as well as increase the reload speed or even refill the entire magazine of the Fighting Lion. At this point, your dodge has had plenty of time to recharge, and the loop can begin once again. Finally, lean into your role as a utility character when running this class. Warlocks and Titans are known for providing great support to their fire teams, and now Hunters can fulfill that role as well with the insane amount of crowd control available to them while utilizing this setup. That's all for today's video. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end. I hope you found this guide useful, and I hope I didn't convert too many of my fellow crayon eaters to the dark side that is the hunter class. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for any and all future content, and comment down below. What character are you enjoying most this season? Until next time, PixarDonks has left the building.